Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some more Let's Read Kagetsu Tohya. The webmaster says of the art director, to him, the world's 8 steps of moeiness is stone. I see. I see. So, last time, we read one of the stories, and we also got into the fun menu. Now, the fun menu, I've been told, that's all stuff by the fan translators. That's not in the base game. In fact, the Bleach anime came out 3 years after this game. So that explains some stuff. That is also where the scene select is. So no, I will not need to play around with deleting my saves to get everything. Instead, we'll be good to go. Especially because of the flowchart, which will help me get where I need to go. So, we do have another story. Another novel, I think, right? Another fan thing. The Tono Family Con game. I wonder what this is going to be about. Ah, what nice weather. Kawaku-san gave a tranquil murmur as she sipped tea from a plastic cup. She seems like a red Solo cup kind of gal. Like the cheap ones. Even if we could afford better ones, Kohaku holding a red Solo cup just feels right, you know? It just feels correct. It is, isn't it? It is nice to occasionally eat outdoors. The lunchboxes being mostly empty, Akia poured herself some tea from the thermos. Yo, for real, thermoses are wild. My family, we brew like a huge thing of coffee every day, and then just fill a thermos. And then it gets taken to work, and then when it gets brought back home, it's still warm. Can't explain that. Hey, so we want some apple? No, thank you. I pointed to an apple carved into a rabbit shape that remained in the lunchbox, but Hisu embarrassedly looked down and declined. Those are really cute. You can look those up how to make them. They're adorable. Saturday afternoon. As I promised in the morning, I quickly returned after school and had lunch in the courtyard patio with Akia and the others. Normally, Hisu and Kohaku eat separately from Akia and me, but since this lunch was Kohaku's idea in the first place, I put forth my view that this sort of meal is one that everyone should enjoy together. I don't know if I agree with the whole thing of Hisu and Kohaku should eat separately from them. I get that they probably want it as their job, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, they feel like family, right? So in the end, the four of us, Akia, Hisui, Kohaku-san, and I, all sat around the lunchboxes. This reminds me. Unexpectedly, I remembered some things from long ago. What is it, Nissan? Huh? I just felt a bit nostalgic. We used to sit around here and eat onigiri a lot after we grew tired of playing. A lot. Actually, weren't you the one that did all the eating, Nissan? Hisui and I only ate one onigiri each at most. I suppose so. Well, I was the one that ran around the most, so of course I'd be the hungriest, right? That was because you two kept dragging us around everywhere. These days, though, if you chased me, I'd be caught immediately. At my whispered words, Akia's hair flashed pure red for an instant. The joke is she has command grabs. Did you say something, Nissan? Nope, nothing. I love her hair flashing red. It's so good. I hurriedly switched the conversation to Hisui. Back then, Hisui used to be real active, too. I was just trying to keep up with you, Shiki-sama. Originally, I wasn't fond of all that running around at all. No need for excuses, Hisui. You've always been on Nisan's side. Akiha-sama, Hisui said with a pitiful look. Whenever we played tag, I always remember being tagged right away. Oh yes, both Nisan and you, Hisui, caught me right away. Akiha, are you still mad about that? Of course not. I was just considering what would happen if we were to play now. Just thinking about it, I can't help but smile. Again, her hair flashed red. Don't like that. Hisui, she's still quite pissed. I whispered to Hisui, who nodded. Yes, she was the slowest runner back then. And when playing tag, it's obvious to aim for the slowest. I never... Hey, what are you two muttering over there? Kohaku, say something. Well, even if you ask me to, I never played with you. I was too busy getting, abused daily in horrible, scarring ways. Don't want to bring the mood down, though. At Kohaku's words, the air seemed to freeze. That's right. With Akiya, Hisui, and I running around in the courtyard, Kohaku-san was still imprisoned in the mansion. It's not that we forgot, just that unthinkingly the conversation had turned and left out Kohaku-san. Sorry, Kohaku-san, that was thoughtless. There's nothing to apologize for. I've been having fun listening to your stories. But I searched for words but couldn't come up with any. Somehow I'd gotten bogged down in trying to continue this conversation. But if I couldn't find some way to clear up this awkward atmosphere, just then I had a flash of brilliance. That's it. I immediately threw out my idea. Since we've got the chance, Kohaku-san, want to play tag? What does this have to do? When I read con game, I expected it to be some big trick. Some big, financial trick or, something involving, conning someone. But what does con mean in this? Convention? I don't know. Excuse me? Kohaku-san gave an embarrassed smile. Nissan, do what? Play tag, I said. 8 years ago, I couldn't take Kohaku-san outside to play. Nothing can change that since you can't turn back time. I take a deep breath and continued. But then, wouldn't it be a good idea for all of us to do something together now? Then, when the four of us sit together like this again, we'll be able to smile and laugh about it. Kohaku-san, what do you think? Kohaku-san was bewildered. Well, after a sudden suggestion like that, it's not surprising. I turned my gaze to Hisui. So Hisui, how about it? I agree with your suggestions, Shiki-sama. At Hisui's words, Kohaku-san shot a surprised look at Hisui's face. Hisui-chan? Yeah, Hisui's in favor. So Akiya, how about you? For me, rather than saying I agree, it would be better to say that I can't find a reason to disagree. So of course I am in favor. Akiya smiled widely, then turned to Kohaku-san. I order you to participate in this game of tag, Kohaku. Now, by both majority rule and your house head's orders, you're left with no choice, Kohaku. Kohaku-san was silent for a little then. I understand. I'll join in. Okay, it's settled. Then let's hurry up and... As I started to stand, Hisui spoke. However, Akiha-sama... What? Is something wrong, Hisui? There are no problems with this suggestion itself. However, I think there are not enough people. Oh my god, what? That's true. Yeah, it is. We need to get a few more people then. I sat back down. Akiya, do you mean to use our old house rules for this game? Of course. Excuse me, but what are the house rules? You wouldn't know, that's right. Well, our tag rules are a little different than other people's. First, those who are it, we call the demons. Those other people are the humans. Second, anyone tagged, of course, becomes a demon, but the original demon remains one as well. Then the original demon is always a demon? Right. If anyone remains uncaught by the time limit, then the humans win. If everyone is caught, then the original demon wins. That's actually kind of cool rules. It sounds like Among Us. Hey, Kiha, who thought up those rules? I heard that they were the Tono family's traditional rules handed down through the generations. Is that so? But that... What about it, Nissan? Nothing. I shook my head. Way back when, I never thought about it, but why do those rules have to be associated with demon and human races? Oh well, doesn't matter. So, you want to use the prize rules as well? At Hisui's words, I nodded. Yeah, of course. To explain for you, Kohaku-san, each person brings their treasure and that becomes the prize. That way everyone plays for keeps. That seems interesting, but a little scary. All competitions have some risk. Well, about the number of people, I was going to call some people I know. You don't mind, Akiha? Not at all. That would be no problem at all. Nissan, you must be surprisingly well known. And since tomorrow is Sunday, how does using the entire day sound? This is kind of exploding to be way bigger than I thought. Yeah, it's a good idea. It'll take some time to gather the people together, too. I nodded and began counting off the people in my head. The Tono Family Con Game. Coming up on the Games Network, GSN? The Game Show Network, that's the channel. The next day, the weather at 9 o'clock was a gray sky, the sun mostly hidden by the clouds. Well then, Nissan, Akia asked me with an expression as if attempting to endure some headache. What precisely are these faces here? Oh boy, here we go. These faces are a little mean, isn't it, Akia-chan? That's right, Inui-kun. That's right. We were called here, so shouldn't there be none of that, little sister? I did not call you here. Nissan called you. And will you please stop calling me little sister, Arkwid-san? Akia yelled and then spun to glare at me. Will you explain this to me, Nissan? Ah, yes, well, you see, I began twiddling my fingers as I thought about everything that had happened yesterday. First, I called Arhiko, and then since Seal-senpai happened to be there, I asked her too. And if I'd asked her, then I had to invite Arkwid as well, right? That's right. If you'd invite Seal but not me, I would have cursed you forever. In your case, you really would haunt the Tono family until it died out, wouldn't you? I sighed. And there's like my classmate Yumizuka-san, who's also participating. Oh my god, is she here? She may be the only upright one here. Thank you for having me here. I am Tono-kun's classmate, Yumizuka Satsuki. Pleased to meet you. Yes, a pleasure to meet you as well, senpai. Finished with her public courtesy, Akia again glared at me again. Nissan, may I have a word with you? Her face twitched as she gestured me closer. What? I drew near and Akia placed her mouth near my ear and then began to speak in a hushed voice. How is she the only upright one? That thing has red eyes. In other words, that's the vampire version. Why is she running about during the daytime? I glanced out the window. Probably it's because of the cloudy sky, I thought, but there was no evidence of that and no way I could ask. Yumizuka may be trying to play dumb or something. Come on, compared to the others, she's fine. Especially compared to Arkwid, who has the Marble Phantasm or UN Vermilion mode. If you're gonna complain, then why didn't you call some of your friends? How about those roommates you mentioned before, or Akira-chan? Well, yes, but there's no way I could. My school has a dormitory, and calling people from the next prefecture over is just too far. Ah, well, okay, I can accept that. However, there's something I want to ask you. What a coincidence. So do I. At the same time, Akia and I opened our mouths and turned in the same direction. Did you call that here, Akia? Did you call that here, Nissan? Where Akia and I were looking stood a muscular, older man and a kimono-wearing young man. Why? To summon one and then refer to summon one and then refer to one as that is rude, lad. Didn't summon you, not at all. At least I didn't call you. Don't refer to your real brother as that, Akia. Come on, don't hold yourself back. You can call me Shiki Nissan. Don't joke around, my only brother is Nissan. Furthermore, I don't remember ever asking you here. Why are these two here? This is so fun. Arkwid, did you do this? Surely you're joking? Why would I invite Nero? Then Seal's... I'd really like it if you would stop brandishing those black keys at me, senpai. Even for you, Tono-kun, there are things you say and things you shouldn't say, you know? Why would I ever invite an undead? Unless I had a trap to destroy it, of course, that's different. Yeah, that's right. But senpai, the black keys don't really match your school uniform, so how about putting them away? As I agreed, senpai withdrew the black keys. Thank God. No, they don't, do they? But anyway, exactly who called them here? Even no, I suppose right now he's Tonoshiki, isn't he? Him, too. Oh, that was me. Kohaku-san? Oh, you're gonna say, oh yeah, I'm in contact with all the villains. We have a club. Yes, I thought I would call all the people with deep relationships together. I sent out invitation cards. Relationship isn't as good a word as pretext when talking about them. Akia pouted. Don't say that, Akia. Just be glad the other one didn't come too. I am. Ah, damn. Now I'm breaking the fourth wall. What? There was one more invitation I sent, but unfortunately it was returned to sender. Regretfully, Kohaku-san showed the white envelope in her hands. The name written on the front was Aozaki Aoko. Oh, no! If you invited Blue, she'd destroy the mansion, you know, Shiki. I didn't invite her! God, it's so wild how much setup there is for Aoko. And yet, like, we won't really, like, learn about her, like, in detail till much later. Oh, by the way, they announced 4 more characters for Melty Blood. I am so excited. And Nero better be one of them. Ah, well. Ikea sighed and glanced around the living room. Everyone, I understand that there have been some hard feelings between us, but this is the Tono family mansion. Please restrain your bloodthirst. You too, I didn't dare say. No need to hasten my death after all. Well, everyone is here, right? The knight Tono Kia shall explain the rules. This game of tag will be using the Tono family house rules. The first demon will be decided through rock, paper, scissors and will remain demon even after tagging someone. In other words, there will then be 2 demons. Yeah, question, little sister. I said stop with the little sister. She cut herself off, cleared her throat, and then responded again. This is going nowhere right now, so afterwards we'll have a nice long discussion, shall we? Then what is your question, Arkwid-san? The demons are going to keep multiplying, right? Then what happens when the last human becomes a demon? The game will have a time limit. Right now it's 9:30 a.m. and we'll start the game at 10 a.m. The time limit will be 4 p.m. for a total of 6 hours. Oh my god. That's not a game. That's an event. Should anyone remain a human, that person will be a victor. Did everyone bring their prize contribution? Well, for me, bring isn't quite right, but let's leave it at that and keep going. Oh my god, you can't bring this, you can't bring Len. Huh? Well, should more than one person survive, the victors shall split the prizes evenly. Should everyone be captured, the original demon is the victor. I see. In other words, the first demon is like a vampire who goes around creating zombies. At Arkwid's simplification, Seal Senpai's face twitched. But yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking. In other words, this game is an infectious demon. Rather than playing tag, we're actually playing vampire, aren't we? Yeah, well, it's called vampire tag, right? We've played that before. So Seal better not get caught. For a member of the burial agency play a vampire, well, that's just not right. Ignoring the byplay, Akia continued explaining the rules. Now, this next rule is for those people who have special abilities, including myself. If possible, please refrain from senseless use of your powers as much as possible. At the very least, I'd be grateful if you keep them at approximately human level. Hold it, Akia. What's that supposed to mean? Basically, Nissan, your eyes of death perception and Nero-san's animals all alright, but my drain abilities and Arkwid-san's marble phantasm are forbidden. Why can I use my death eyes? I feel like that's a horrible thing. That's not... And what are you talking about, the animals being human level? What? I kind of understand, but... Hey, little sister, that seems really vague to me. For example, are we allowed to jump out of the second-story window? Yes. In the end, we have to leave it up to the common sense of the ability holder. Everyone, before you use your abilities, please do not forget that there are normal people participating. Arhiko's just there like... What the frick are you guys talking about? I just have a horse. Oh my god. Is Nanako gonna be the item he brings? Unwittingly, I look at Arhiko. Well, jumping from the second story isn't unthinkable. What's that supposed to mean? Exactly what it seems. I understand and shall accept your terms, woman. Of all, Nero was the first to indicate his understanding. Just what you would expect from the professor. It's so weird. With bulging eyes, he seemed to glare at Kia, but maybe that was possibly had a friendly meaning. In my case, I shall be forbidden from the usage of my soil of Genesis. I merely wish to confirm beforehand, but in the unlikely chance that I become a demon, any contact between my familiars and a human shall be considered a valid tag, correct? It shall not. If we were to accept that condition, then I fear this game would be over in an instant. Accepted. Now that the important rules have been explained, it is time for everyone to display their treasure, please. This is, after all, one of the requirements for participation. Back then, it just used to be like my favorite marble or something. Gripping, I held out my knife. For me, it's this, the Nanaya blade. However, I'm gonna keep hold of it through the game. I'm gonna need it, it seems. That's fine. Who's next? At Akia's words, Nero took a step forward and opened the breast of his coat. For a moment, a black shadow flew out, then finally one black dog stood before us.
I shall offer this, my beloved dog Coulter.
Like Ann Coulter?
I trust this has sufficient value as a treasure.
Coulter? Seal Senpai's face jerked. You recognize it, Senpai? In the 15th century, during the 100 Years' War between the English and the French, Coulter was the legendary wolf king that led a pack of nearly 300 beasts in the Paris environs. But I'm not sure you could call it a dog.
If this is unsatisfactory, then I shall also offer Beat or Lobo. Okay, Lobo I know. When you say Beat, do you mean the bird from Mega Man? I do not mind.
Forget Beat, even I recognize the name Lobo from Seaton's famous animal stories. Yeah, I don't know, but this old guy, he really has lived for 1,000 years, hasn't he?
Just one is fine. Although if you insist, I don't mind.
So next is me, right? Is my Harada Tomoyo album okay? It may not be much to the others, but to me it is.
No problem. If it is important to you, then that is what makes it your treasure.
Yay. Then I'm safely a part of this little war.
But my curry sandwich is no good, right?
Senpai muttered next to me, but decided to be brave and ignore her. Seal Senpai watched as Akiya accepted the CD from Yumizuka-san placed on the table, and then decided and advanced.
Then I shall wager this, the 7th scripture.
Oh my god, I was right. With a thump, Senpai placed the huge weapon, from which she pulled from nowhere before Akiha.
Is this truly all right?
Since my other treasure seems unusable, the others are putting up things of value, so I must as well. But even ignoring all the vampires, wouldn't giving this to a normal person cause a lot of trouble?
Yeah, there would.
Then the people left are... Yay! I haven't put out anything yet. Arkwood waved her hand wildly in the air.
Yes, Arkwood-san. However, you don't seem to have brought anything.
Hehehe. Laughing, Arkwood looked at me. Oh no. I had a sudden chill. An incredibly nasty chill. Excuse me, I need to use the bathroom. Turning quickly on my heel, I left the living room. But it was too late. Arkwood caught hold of my collar and thrust me in front of Akiha. This is my treasure. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was going to be Len, which this is better, maybe? But also now everyone's going to want to win the game. Looking at Nair, it's no problem. My prize is a human, right?
What?
Seal Senpai and Akiya were the only two that could give voice. The others had their jaws hanging open, unable to hide their surprise. Even Nero. No, well...
That is the principle, princess,
said Nero, unaffected, the sole exception.
If my chaos is acceptable, then accepting a human prize is also correct.
Isn't it just? I really was thinking of using the Millennium Castle or maybe a ton of gold, but those are so vulgar and boring. And besides, it's without a doubt that right now my most precious thing is Shiki. Like hell, I'll take that. Don't treat people like things.
That's alright, Shiki. Doesn't matter if I'm the demon running away, I'm going to win.
Don't worry. I'm really worried now.
Stop joking. No one would accept that sort of behavior. That's right. Of all things, to make Tono-kun your prize, that's...
As expected, two heads of opposition flared up at Arkwood. Glancing around, I saw Hisui looking troubled. Then I saw Kohaku-san. Why are you looking that happy, Kohaku-san?
But, you know...
Interrupting that delicate situation, Arihiko spoke. That self-styled friend of mine knows no fear, does he?
What is it, senpai? We're busy here.
Hair shining pure red on the brink of exploding, Akiya asked Arihiko.
Doesn't matter to me, but I just want to make sure, you know. If Tono's a prize, then whoever wins owns him, right? Now, I really want to have something like that.
The other two seemed struck by Arihiko's unexpected words. Akiha, red-faced, gave a small cough before speaking.
Well, we've already accepted one living thing as a prize. To bring my personal feelings into this now would be childish, I see.
Hey, Akiha.
That's true. That may have been a problem. Fine,
I too shall accept what Arkwid says here, and I think Toto-kun shall be made a prize. Hey, Seal Senpai. Do I get a say? No. Democracy, the family's head command, and the game's chairman's directive. Which of these authorities are you objecting to, Nissan? Desperate, I just look to the heavens. Well, in Arkwid's treasures, Nissan, we can't leave him here on the table, so delivery will have to be after the game.
Yeah, isn't this great, my friend? You fit all around.
That's right, Arihiko. Not only am I now a prize, you're also treating me like one.
Don't worry, Toto. When I win, I'll let you go free after a week or so.
Surprisingly, Arihiko seems to be confident in winning. Even facing people like this, why does this guy have such spirit? As ever, you just can't tell when he's an incredible guy or just a straight-out idiot. Hey, Kiha. Oh, hey, Kiha, Shiki yelled. Oh yes, you hadn't gone yet either. What's your prize? You. Shiki pointed at Akiha. Huh?
I said you, Akiha. No matter what anyone says, you're the most important thing to me.
Am I the only one that thinks this is quickly turning into a slave market? But, Nissan, say something! Well, I'd certainly like to say something, but I'm a prize too. I'd never said it out loud, but this time only, I'm on Shiki's side. I guess I can't object. If Nissan has accepted being a prize, then it would be unfair not to accept it myself. I didn't accept it, you just decided it. Even so, well, is there anyone else who hasn't shown their prize yet? Akiha, what about you? I'm offering to let the winner be master of the Tono family for the day. It's not a physical object, but no one minds, right? Casually, Akiha tossed off that dreadful remark. But even so, why does their offering sound so much better than the other people's treasures? What about the maids, right? Yeah. For me, this ribbon. Kawaku smiled and placed the white ribbon on the table. What about you, Hisui? Unfortunately, I shall not be participating this time. Akiha-sama has given me the task of using the radio system to announce who was captured and when it occurred. Or where. I see. That's too bad. I was going to be able to run around with you again after so long. I am very sorry. Next time, you'll play too, Hisui-chan. Yes, Nei-san. Shiki-sama, Nei-san, here. I took a radio transceiver from Hisui. Because this estate is so large, there's no telling when and where someone may be caught. One idea would be for someone who has become a demon to conceal this fact and approach an uncaught individual. However, this would not be fair. Therefore, this time we have a rule to report whenever the demon catches someone. Hisui continued, then bowed to the group. I shall be present here in the living room. Should you have any problems or requests, feel free to ask me. Got it. So then, since everyone has presented their treasure...
Hold it, Toto. Aren't you forgetting someone?
Why don't you just skip the drama and show us, Arihiko? What is your treasure? If you say it's your favorite set of porn books, I'm gonna hit you.
Ha! Do you really think my treasure would be such a common item? My thing is this!
With a loud bam, Arihiko dropped a massive photo album on the table.
Well, strictly speaking, it's not my treasure, but I thought this would be a lot more exciting.
Oh my god, it's his foot pics. Not of his, but...
I really had to fish this out from the back of my bookshelves, you know?
You know, Arihiko, you may think your memories of your past may be precious to you, but who do you think is going to be happy winning a collection of pictures of you? I flipped open the album. Inside were plenty of pictures from elementary school through middle school, showing Arihiko at school and at home. Since we did so many things together, I was also in the pictures sometimes. But this wasn't sometimes. Hey, Arihiko, this can't possibly be... I pointed at the album and Arihiko smirked.
Right, just as you think. This is Zenui Arihiko's specially edited Totoshiki's boyhood photo collection. So, Akiha-chan, this is my treasure. You'll accept it, of course.
Crap. In that case, I shouldn't have bet my knife but gone and brought my photo album from the Arima household. But it's too late now. I've already thrown in my chips. Shiki's childhood, huh? Let's see. Arkwid, you can't. That's a prize for the winner. There's no point if you start looking at it before the game even begins. Still saying things like that. You know you want to look, CL. This and that are different matters. I intend to fight fair and square and win it for myself. Fair and square? What about it? Oh, it's nothing. Just that to hear the words fair and square coming from someone who always attacks from the shadows in the night or from ambush, well, I was a little surprised. Are you trying to pick a fight? The air between the two started to warp with their anger. I hurriedly slid between them. Since no one else looked about to stop them, I had to. Hey, you guys, no going into combat mode. There's gotta be no killing each other today. After I spoke, Arkwin CL Senpai relaxed disappointedly fast. Oh, I know. This is just one of our little courtesies. That's right, Tono-kun. We all know that today's a day to set aside formality and relax. Right, Arkwin? Yeah. Well, no mercy during the game, though. That goes for me, too. So again, the air between them grew tense. It's like a Cold War. I sighed. I'd really like it if you stopped this sort of life-shortening courtesy, though. There's a lot of setup. This might be way longer than I expected. The end result of the rock, paper, scissors was that Kohaku was the demon. Bad luck, Kohaku-san. Not at all. All I need to do is make everyone else a demon, right? And this is easier than running around. Kohaku, once you've closed your eyes and counted to 100, you may move. Yeah, I understand. Well, I'll start counting now. Kohaku-san said and then closed her eyes. Time for me to get moving too. Be careful as you go, everyone. I shall pray for your good fortunes. Yeah, work hard as the announcer too, Hisui. 1, 2... I could hear Kohaku-san's voice from behind me as I left the living room. This is such a fun idea. Well, walking through the hall, I started to think. In a normal game like this, the way to certain victory is to find a spot where you can watch a demon without being seen yourself. In the best case, a position where, if you should be seen, you have enough distance to flee. But this time, that won't work. That's because this game's rules have the number of demons continually increasing, so there'll be more observational targets than one person could manage. But before any of that, I turned around. Ah! Why are you all following me? But it'll be fun with you. And on top of that, at the right time, we can split up and confuse the demon. Leaving aside Arkwid's first sentence, I am in agreement with what she says. But there's no point in playing at all. If even one person in this group gets tagged, then in an instant everyone else will be caught. What about you two? Shiki and Akiha? Oh, Shiki and Akiha? Who cares? You're just going to the same direction I thought to go. Wait. Shiki and Akiha. Oh no, this is okay. Who cares? You're just going in the same direction I thought to go. Besides, even way back when, didn't we always have the same destination, Shiki? Now that you mention it, we did, didn't we? What about you, Akiha? It's a bit troublesome. When I saw Nissan's back, I just wanted to follow. Is that what they call childhood imprinting? Well, it's true that you always did tag along behind me, Akiha, but you know, it's less imprinting than it is Pavlovian conditioning. Pavlovian conditioning? Pavlovian conditioning. That rings a bell. That's a joke! That's a smart joke! Yumizuka-san? I just felt it'd be a little lonely being by myself. Is this okay? It's not okay. Just as I told Arkwin and Senpai earlier, if we're all together, then it wouldn't be much of a game. Anyway, for the moment, everyone needs to scatter. I'm just asking, but why did you come along? A real battle is one thing, but this sort of competition I am unfamiliar with. I had intended to observe and inquiring into the actions of those familiar with this game, but I understand. To put it briefly, I shall act just as I normally do. Please do so. Okay, everyone split up. I clapped my hands and everyone began to leave. See you later, Shiki. Tono-kun, be careful. I know this estate from end to end. You'll see, Shiki. I'll be the last one standing. Nissan, for the moment, I'm going to return to my room to think. If I need to, I can always flee through the window after all. If I'm in a pinch, come save me, Tono-kun. Fare thee well, human. Next time we meet, we may be enemies. Flying outdoors, rushing up the stairs, or heading down hallways, everyone left in their intended direction. Planning out for myself, I began to think. It's about time for Kohaku-san to start chasing, so I better get moving too. Then as I headed outside... Huh? I realized something and stopped. Just a minute ago, did I miss someone? Yeah, Arhiko's not there. Very obvious. We're missing the boy. Leaving the courtyard, I arrived in front of the old detached building. I looked behind me, but there was no one there. It seems no one's been caught yet, so I feel a little relieved. And right then, quiet noise erupted from the earphone I was wearing. The second demon has been created. Hisui's voice. If a second demon has been created, then that means Kohaku-san has successfully caught someone. But whom? Currently the demons are my sister Kohaku and Nero-sama. Wow, you're giving Nero a Sama? Nero? For a moment I doubted my ears. That's crazy. That's someone that should never have been caught by Kohaku-san. That is the report at this time. He absolutely gave up, huh? 99-100. Nei-san, good luck. Be careful. Hisui-chan, the prize are all by the table, right? Yes, that's right. But, Nei-san, what are you looking for under there? A little something. Ah, there it is. Bork! Bork, bork! Hey, Hisui-chan, is this little one calm? Earlier, I fed him ham from the kitchen, so I think it's all right. Why do you ask? I just want to touch him. He's quite happy if you pat his back. Kohaku smiled widely. Oh, there, boy. Well then. Nei-san, what was that? I take Nero-san. With that, he is now a demon. Hisui-chan, would you please call Nero-san on the radio? Wow. Big brain. Big brain moment. What do you mean by this, girl? Nero-san, you are Chaos, correct? Correct. I am the Chaos that contains 666 beasts. That is my Chaos. What about it? So Coulter-kun is also Chaos, right? In other words, it is you as well, Nero-san? However, I see one large gap in your interpretation. Take a portion of your arm and throw it away. If that portion is then touched, would it not fail to count as a tag under those rules? However, pieces of arms don't move. Of course, neither do pieces of legs or fingers either. For example, if you were cleaved in two, Nero-san, would you not become a demon should either half be tagged? In other words, since Coulter-kun is you, shouldn't this tag be valid? As a theorem, it would be Nero equals Chaos equals Coulter-kun. I see. To give a syllogism to win, you are required to... What the frick is a syllogism? I've never heard of that. You are required to take the Chaos that is me, and my familiar Coulter is the same Chaos. Thus, if you take Chaos, then I should become a demon. That's right. Too bad. I cocked my head at that point. He'd accept that? I really can't understand how these scientists think. But just forget about that for a moment. As proof that Nero was now a demon, one of Nero's familiar deer approached in front of me. Meme deer! Didn't seem like it was going to attack me. Probably there to observe. His eyes never left me. Well, seems like hiding in detached buildings out now. There's no idiot in the world stupid enough to hide in front of the eyes of the hunter. Ah well, since Kohaku-san and Nero are still inside the mansion, then right now the only place left to hide in is the forest. Spinning on a heel, I started walking. The problem is, how am I going to get rid of that familiar? Or so I thought, and turned back to face the detached building again. Huh? The deer hadn't moved from in front of the building. What, not going to follow? And while I was asking myself that, a black leopard appeared. Ah! That's right. Nero has 666 familiars in total, so even if he doesn't have one familiar following each person around, he can keep an eye on all likely places. Certainly is just like Zakiya said. If it weren't for the rule requiring every tag to be with the hand, this game would be over in an instant. Ah, what a pain. The most annoying guy got tagged right away. I keep running. 30 minutes later. Hiding from the eyes of the familiars, I sunk into the shadow of a tree. Accidentally, my stomach rumbled. Glancing at my watch told me it was about 11:30. It's about lunchtime, isn't it? Well, yeah, but it's not a good idea to move right now. In an attempt to conserve some energy, I leaned back against the trunk of a tree and relaxed. Right then, at that sound, I jumped up dangerously fast. Third person. The third demon has been created. Just like before, Hisui's voice. Who was it this time? It's gonna be Shiki. It's almost lunchtime, isn't it, Hisui-chan? But today neither Kiya-sama nor Shiki-sama are present. Nei-san, what will you do? Everyone gets hungry after exercising. I thought I'd make something simple. After all, we've got a lot of guests today. Soup? How disappointing, Hisui-chan. Today's lunch will be curry. Oh, frick. Okay, it's CL. It's absolutely CL. By the way, where's Nero-san gone? Nero-san found someone hiding, so we headed outside. Let's finish the curry before he comes back, Hisui-chan. I pulled the transceiver from my ear. No need to listen to know who was caught. More importantly, I was getting concerned because I could feel something watching me from up in the trees. The someone hiding Kawaku-san had mentioned. No proof, just intuition. But as soon as I realized that was me, I started moving. As I ran weaving through the trees, I couldn't get away from the gazes overhead at all. I don't know how many, but it seems like there are a lot of nearest familiars up there. Bark! Before me, a black dog borked my path. Move it! A single blade stroke killed both front legs. Even if it's just chaos, killing during game seems a little awkward. If it's only legs, it was only legs, so it can't move, and then it goes back inside Nero, so there shouldn't be any problems, I think. A bit hypocritical, huh? I just killed a dog in this game of tag. That was just a second's consideration. I leapt over the dog's head without pause, slipping into the mansion quickly. So that I wouldn't encounter anyone, I rushed quickly up the stairs. Shh! The way too familiar noise of a new demon. The fourth demon has been created. Man, last time was CL-senpai, who's it this time? I closed the door to my room and leaned against it. I checked the time. Currently 12:30. Who is it this time? I finally cornered you, Shiki-san. What? First we'll catch... Oh, first, I think this is him. We'll catch you with this rope. Then with Nero-san's chaos binding your legs, I can take my time tagging you. Hold it. What's that supposed to mean? Well, Shiki-san could always kill the floor and escape downwards. And since you're in good shape, you might also attempt to jump out the window. The first thing to do would be to stop you from moving. Well, jumping from the second story isn't unthinkable. See? So please, just quietly let us capture you. Nero-san, Shiki-san has agreed to your use of chaos. Ah, like hell I'll take that. Is that so? With hesitation, I shall summon forth all of my Oh no, that's him. Is that so? Then with hesitation, I shall summon forth all the beasts that are not patrolling outdoors. Boy, I may have forbidden the soil of Genesis, but it will be fine. It will be fine to drag you into the heart of screaming hell of 300 beasts. Given the chance, how about becoming a part of my chaos? No, having a familiar with your mystic eyes would not be bad at all. Don't just treat people like things. So you see, Shiki-san, just stay right there. Don't worry, this won't hurt a bit. Do I get a say? Just throw that sort of thing into the garbage. Well, Nero-san, take him. Just what do you think you're doing in front of my room? I did not think she would actually come out, girl. I guess this is a case of acting just as expected. Too bad. Here, Kiya-sama, you're tagged. Now you're a demon too. But Nissan... Oh, I see. Why did I hear his voice? The root of that magic is this. I have lived a long time, but a girl this tricky is rare. I am quite awed. A tape recorder? Kohaku, when did you ever... Before everyone gathered in the living room, I started the tape recording from behind the table. Shiki-san's lines seem so easy to use, so I just edited them a little. It may be a cliched trick, but it's cliched because it's effective, right? Oh my god, she is so powerful. You really did it this time, Kohaku. I'm sorry. By the way, you two... Yes? As far as I can tell from Hisui's broadcasts, aren't you two surprisingly well matched? What a waste. Of all things, now Kia's a demon too. Shiki stood before my eyes and spoke to the ceiling. Now I've got to make absolutely certain not to get caught. I can't let Akiha go to anyone else. Can I ask you something? What is it, Shiki?
You hungry? I'm starved.
Shiki gave a meaningless little laugh. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. There's one thing I absolutely need to ask this guy, though. Why are you in my room?
What are you saying? This was originally my room. You only started living here recently. Damn, don't you remember living in the detached building?
Oh, is that right?
Not is that right. That is right. Anyways, they say you can't fight on an empty stomach, so shall we eat?
Shiki pulled a bag packed with sausages out of his sleeve.
I don't trust the Shiki sausages.
When did you pick that up?
Right before Akia started explaining the rules. I knew I wouldn't have time for a leisurely lunch after all, and if I wanted something I could carry around with me at all time, well, there wasn't anything but these little wieners.
Well, you feel free to treat this like your own house.
Well, I was really hoping for a nice blood pack to drink.
Somehow it seems like there's an implicit truce in effect right now, so I took the opportunity to question Shiki. I don't need any of that. By the way, Shiki, did you realize it?
Huh? Realize what?
Shiki shoved a red sausage into his mouth. This game isn't just about athletics or strength.
Yeah, because that scheme of Kohaku is involved. Wouldn't it obviously be a battle of wits? If the original demon had been myself or Akia, then it would have been brute force, though. On top of that, the second demon was pretty bad. Would have to be Professor Nero. Here.
Ah, thanks. Shiki held out the bag and I pulled out a few sausages and tossed them in my mouth. Glancing at the clock, it was already past 2 o'clock. No wonder I'm hungry. In other words, this game is less a game of tag and more a sort of con game. Oh, there you go. A battle of treachery and deception. This demon has been setting traps and tricking people for a long time.
I wonder what our next move will be.
Who knows? Certain to be quite. Shiki's gaze was pointed in an odd direction. Towards the floor and off to the right. What is it?
It seems like the others have been searching the rooms one by one. This is bad. Fairly soon they'll get here.
You've got X-ray vision?
Nah. I can just feel their presence, that's all. By the footsteps and voices, I can tell.
We stood. The corridor needs to be avoided at all costs. Which means... Never thought I'd have to imitate Arkwid. Just as I placed one foot on the windowsill, a high scream echoed through the mansion. Ah! A cockroach! I don't know who that is. What an incredibly fake monotone scream, Akiha.
What? Akiha, wait for me! I'm coming to kill it right now!
I tripped and fell on my face. Hurriedly, I got up to stop him.
Idiot! Shiki, don't go! Who's the idiot? Are you going to just ignore Akiha when she's in danger? You cold-hearted bastard.
Cold-hearted or not isn't the issue. Akiha's a demon right now, you know?
So what? I'm going to go save Akiha. No matter what, I will always protect Akiha.
In certain situations, those may be very moving lines. If your victim is obviously setting a trap and your opponent is also a cockroach, a plainly imaginary one, is moving, that is, I place my hands on Shiki's shoulders. I understand. I won't say anything else. In my place, do a splendid job of protecting the Kia, Shiki.
Yeah. See you later, Shiki. Our earlier conversation. I enjoyed it.
Me too. Smiling at him, I jumped out the window to the tree. By the time I was reaching for the third tree, Hisui's familiar report sounded in my ears and I sighed. Just as you'd expect from real siblings, they both got caught by the same trap. Nair's familiar was gone from in front of the detached building. Probably as the number of demons increased, he'd pulled them back to make himself stronger. Or maybe keeping it here was just a pain. Flew inside the building and flopped down on the floor. The clock was pointed at 3 o'clock. Only an hour left. I never wondered why I was getting so serious over something like this. It's like that. It's just like people watching a pillow fight can stay calm, but the ones involved get really hyped. Or something. Man, I'm tired that I've even started on meaningless self-analysis. I don't think the demon folks are going to stay searching the mansion forever. With only an hour left, even this detached building is a safe place anymore. How many people are still alive anyway? I don't hear anything about Arkwid getting caught. Otherwise, there's Yumizuka-san. At that familiar noise, I twitched. The 6th demon has been created. Who? Who? Even in daytime, this is a great vampire body. Even the basic physical strength is different from a living human. If I can just stay free for 1 more hour, then I'll split the prizes with Tono-kun. Yep, that's fine. I'll show them how I can get away. I mean, I haven't got away from that senpai after all. Suppose you're thinking you just jump out that window. Who's there? That's worthless. Your charming gaze will never work on me. After all. You!
That's right. I'm the very one that drank your blood. The one you could call your parent, Tono Shiki-sama. Goodness, you've started to grow into quite the vampire, huh? You can't want to run away. Don't move.
I can't move. Why not?
Didn't I just say it? I'm basically your parent. My commands must be absolutely obeyed. You can't escape my rule. Now it would be quite troubling for you to survive this game. Unfortunately, I can't let you take the position as the head of the Tono family. With myself and Akiha out, that means there's only one thing left for me to do. I'm going to make everyone a demon. Completely losing doesn't suit me.
With that, Yumizuka-san is out. Which means that the people after me? And Arquid? Wait a second. Aren't I forgetting someone? Suddenly the vision of a certain guy floated in my mind and I raised my head.
What's up, it's me, Haruhiko.
That's right, I hadn't heard him get called out yet. Which means, when did he disappear anyway? He was definitely in the living room. But after that... I clapped my hands and everyone began to leave. See you later, Shiki. Tono-kun, be careful.
I know this estate from end to end. You'll see, Shiki, I'll be the last one standing.
Nissan, for the moment, I'm going to return to my room to think. If I need to, I can always flee out the window after all. If I'm in a pinch, please come save me, Tono-kun.
Fare thee well, human. Next time we meet, we may be enemies.
Flying outdoors, rushing up the stairs, everyone headed in their direction. Planning, I began to think, yeah, we're back. Then I headed outside. I realized something had stopped. Just a minute. Did I miss someone? Yeah, flashback to the fact that we totally missed him. By then, Haruhiko had already disappeared. But in that case, exactly where is he? Have I just not seen him? Or considering who this is he lurking somewhere? Right then, I sensed someone outside. At once, I jumped through the shoji door and ran in the opposite direction. I ran through the trees.
You're so slow, Shiki. No matter how much you try, you are, after all, just a human, you know.
Shiki, I don't suppose you feel like letting me go.
I have no reason to let you get away. It's not like we're trying to kill each other today. So if you go quietly, it'll soon...
Thump! Thump? Uh-oh. Still smiling, Shiki slowly toppled. From behind him, Akiha appeared smiling at me. That was close, Nissan. Akiha, why? Once I became a demon, I had to make sure you remain alive, Nissan. For you, I can feel relieved letting you take over as the head of the Tono family, and then, I'm a prize too. Huh? What's wrong, Akiha? Your face is turning red. Jeez, you don't have to understand. Anyway, I'm your ally, so hurry up and run away. Soon other pursuers will be here. Ah, got it. Thank you, Akiha. It was my pleasure. Is this really a fair game? I began to wonder, but if I really think about it, when playing tag against vampires, the humans seem to be able to get away with almost anything. So I told myself and cleared my doubts. As I resumed running, the transceiver crackled in my ear. Oh boy, who's next? It looks like we finished searching inside the mansion, and all that remains is the outdoors and the detached buildings. Let us split up and search. I shall look for the princess. Okay, what about the rest of you? I'm gonna go look for Tono-kun. Akiha-sama and Shiki-sama have already headed outside, so let us follow them. Okay, everyone, do your best to find Arquid-san and Shiki-san.
Looks like they're gone. Oh, that was painful. I'm glad no one found me, but it's a little hard to understand why not.
With everything that's happened, you've been hiding behind the sofa for more than 5 hours. I was literally gonna make a joke about he just hid behind the first object and never moved. Are you all right?
Oh my god. This is, I was gonna say like, I'm used to being trapped under stuff, but like, oh my god, I just remembered his backstory. This is hella tragic. I, Inui Ariko, would be perfectly fine if I had to be a human chair for an entire week. This takes on a really tragic turn now that we know his backstory. I believe you would die if you did so, though. By the way, why were you hiding in such a place? Oh, that? Well, there's less a game of tag and more a game of hide and seek, so I use those techniques to win. To put it shortly, hiding in plain sight. No one would ever think that someone would hide in the very place the demon was counting, and so they blind themselves. I did not know that. The real problems with this trick is that you can't use it twice, and if you are noticed, you'll be caught right away. But somehow it looks like it went well this time. Everyone is so desperately searching outside. Well. Anyway, since everyone went outside, I can finally get to stretch a bit. What is it, Hisui-chan? Not everyone. Oh, that's right. Hisui-chan's here after all. Sorry, that was rude. No, not that. In the kitchen. That was good. It's been a long time since I got to eat that much curry. I see Inui-kun. Okay, tag. Now Inui-kun, you're a demon too. Hisui-san, would you please report Inui-kun's capture? Yes. I shall now begin the transmission. Which means that currently remaining are Arkwit-san and Shiki-sama. Do your best for the remaining 10 minutes. This time it seems like it really is just Arkwit and me. Then from the direction of the courtyard, I spotted Arkwid. Hey, why are you so blatantly walking around? Arkwid? Yahoo, Shiki! You're doing fine, it seems. Where have you been hiding? I've just been taking a nap on the roof of the mansion. The only ones to see me there were Nero's familiars. Why? Is it just me or that feels like an idiot for... What? Is it just me that feels like an idiot for all that panic running around the estate? So only 10 minutes left. What are you doing here? Wouldn't it have been better to just quietly sit there spacing out on the roof? But then it would have been almost as if I didn't participate at all. I want to run around and be chased too. Oh, I see. I've done more than enough of that. Enough that I'd rather trade with you. Yep. I've been watching you from up there the entire time. It's been pretty amusing. Right now, that part of myself, without any connection to the Naya blood, wanted to kill Arkwid so badly was precious to me. Then shall I give you the pleasure of being chased, Arkwid? I'm guessing. Between Arkwid and me, a sudden gust of wind blew. No, not wind, a giant knife, a black key. That was the super wrong voice. The blade was half buried in the wall of the estate, still quivering with the force of the throw. And among all the people I know, only one uses these. CL-senpai. Hello, Tono-kun. Why'd you change? It's tax collection time. What? He pays his taxes? Senpai, that line doesn't really match your executioner's clothing. For that matter, when did you change? Don't worry about the little details. Well then, with this, we'll have caught everyone. Inui-kun, take care of Tono-kun, please. Aye, aye, sir. Tono, just give up. I'll pass. I easily dodged a charging Arhiko. Arkwid? That's the wrong voice. It looks like this one doesn't intend to let me leave either. Shiki, go on ahead. But what about... CL is no worry. As long as I keep her in check, she can't do anything to you. Got it. But no killing, remember? I know that. This is a game after all. But you know... Arkwid's eyes started to shine. Aren't the black keys forbidden, CL? If you're gonna act like that, then I too shall just become a little serious. Oh boy. Dang, 4 o'clock and it's already like this? I returned to the mansion living room. The clock pointed at 3:59 p.m. No matter who returns, I can at least buy that much time before getting tagged. Welcome back, Shiki-sama. I'm back, Hisui. It sounds like the usual conversation we have when I get back from school. It does, doesn't it? Since you have returned just in time, I shall make my report in person. Arkwid-sama has become a demon. That seems like even Arkwid couldn't keep Senpai from tagging her. I'm sorry, but that's incorrect. While CL-sama pulled all of Arkwid-sama's attention to herself, Akiha-sama tagged her from behind. I see. So I'm the only one who left in the end, huh?
No. In the end, no one remains. Huh? Even before I could ask, Hisui's hands touched my shoulder. What?
That's Kohaku! Oh, she got us again with the same trick!
Now it's all over. As she said that Hisui smiled. Her meaning slowly drifted into my brain. It was unlikely that Hisui would ever choose to touch me. On top of that, she has no reason to touch me. So that means the person in front of me isn't Hisui, but using Hisui's clothes. Kohaku! Yes, it was very close, but I just made it in time. 5 seconds remained. Oh my god, she got us with the same trick. Just as Kohaku nodded her head, the bell rang to announce the end of the game. I can't believe it. The same trick.
These are the field day pictures of the Arima family. This one is when after the foot race, Tono had collapsed.
Yeah, so Shiki was a child, huh?
Yeah, most people were, Arquid.
Arquid, what obvious stuff are you babbling about? Any human was a child at one point. I wasn't. I want this picture, Shiki. You want human. This prize album belongs to Kohaku-san. Don't go taking pictures out of it. Then those 5 pictures you snuck into your pocket will be returned, right? Jeez, you lecture people even when you act like that yourself. I just can't let you out of my sight.
Yumizuka, stop looking so greedily. You've got your own pictures from middle school, right?
But I don't have many of pictures of Tono-kun. And then the little sister is over there staring so seriously at the album. Hey, little sister, come back to Earth. Yes? What is it, Arkuid-san? Ah, she's back. You spent so long staring fascinatedly at Shiki's pictures, even though you see him every day. This and that are entirely different issues. Nissan and I were apart for 8 years, so of course the records of his precious growing up would be interesting. But isn't it nice for you? Since Kohaku won, you see them anytime. But I'd have to ask Kohaku every time I did, which is just a little bit annoying. Oh well, I suppose I can settle that as a compromise. I am one of the losers after all.
Kiha, stop looking just at Shiki's pictures. Look at mine, too. The precious pictures of your real brother growing up.
But they're all pictures of your prison cell. This is rather scary. The background doesn't change at all, only the pictured person is... That's terrifying, I don't like that. And then they're all the same peace sign pose, making it look like some sort of ghost photo. Did you take these, Kohaku-san?
I, too, am the owner of a photo album.
Of what? Oh, is it going to be of all your animals? Is it going to be everyone?
The pictures of all the familiars I've absorbed in the past. Look as much as you please. Those captured inside are all unusual creatures and rare beasts, making this a valuable book. This guy's album has a handle on the front. Although, if you hadn't explained it, it would look just like a book of animal pictures.
Twitching Animal Land? Are there all 666 in here?
Not all. Not at all. There are also mementos from those who died in here, so there are well over 1,000. Additionally, those that became undead don't photograph well. At the same time, there are some paintings in there too.
There really are. Nero, you can paint? Hidden depths, huh? Watching out of the corner of my eye, I sat on the sofa talking to Hisui. Her face looked very interesting in the photos, but at the same time, or interested rather, but at the same time she seemed too tense and was just staying away. Ah well, she can look at the album later. And then to be done in by Hisui, and the old-fashioned twin trick too. I'm very sorry, Shiki-sama. About 30 minutes before the game ended, Nei-san suggested it, so we switched places. Well, there was no rule against using disguises, so it's fine. And besides, I was the one that let my guard down there at the very end of it all, which hurts. Forgettable, Shiki-sama. Yeah. That reminds me, where did our victor, Kohaku-san, go anyway? Do you know, Hisui? I spotted Nei-san head to the courtyard a little while ago. Probably she went outside to cool down a little. Okay, then I'm gonna go follow her. I stood up from the sofa. I want her to be like holding the gun, holding like with the dog. As I entered the courtyard, I saw Kohaku-san sitting in a chair with her eyes closed. Just like Hisui said, she came out here to cool off. As it was already dark outside, the breeze was refreshingly chilled. Ah, Shiki-san. What is the matter? Noticing me as I drew near, Kohaku-san opened her eyes and stood. Nothing. I just thought I'd talk a bit. That okay? Of course, I don't mind at all. What did you wish to talk about? Although, to tell the truth, there wasn't really any topic I had in mind. It was the first time in a while we've done so much running around. I'm rather tired. Were you and the others like that way back when, too? I mean, using the entire estate. Well, if you mean playing wherever we wanted, then yeah, but we were little kids back then. There wasn't any running around all over the place like we did today. And then back then, the game was a lot simpler. Just run, and if the demon catches you, you're out. That was all. Sometime in the middle today, the goal mysteriously changed. Yeah, back then no one made any curry in the middle of the game. That's true. But it didn't seem like I could win with a straight-up fight. But I'm glad. In the end, even Hisui-chan got to play. That's... Can you really call that playing? I don't know, but if she accepts it as such, that's fine. That's right. Here, I'm returning this. Goggin pulled a knife from her sleeve. The handle had Nanaya carved on it. My knife. Seal-san's 7th scripture and Akiya-sama's master of the Tono family for a day I'm also giving back. Even if I accept them, I have no way to use them. And Shiki's prize of Akiha? It's very tempting, but the consequences are frightening, so I'll give up on that. But for you, Shiki-san, I'd like to have dating privileges at least once. I don't mind that at all. And for the reason, I'm glad neither Arkwood nor one of the others won. In Arkwood's case, she really might drag me back to the Millennium Castle with her. The rest of the prizes, though, I will happily keep. Your childhood photos, for example, are wonderful. I could feel my face falling into a troubled expression. Knowing that there's an album of my pictures in Kawaku-san's room, somehow it's difficult to calm down. Anyway, shall we return? Without the guest of honor, I'm sure everyone is worried. That's true. And if we're here too long, we'll freeze. Come on, Coulter. Bark, bark! Then as Kawaku-san and I stood together to return indoors. Woo! I might have been right. In the distance, I could hear a dog's howl. Unconsciously, I looked up. A wild dog. That's Nair sounds familiar. Coulter-kun. Oh, things have been pretty stirred up lately. So I told Akiya-sama, why don't we get a guard dog? And this was just perfect. I unthinkably turned back to the courtyard. No, certainly, Kawaku-san had never said a word about returning that. You're intending to make that black beast our guard dog? Yes, as reliable as he is. Soon we'll have to go buy some ham for him to eat. Reliable, she said. Do you really understand, Kawaku-san? That's a war dog and a familiar, you know? The Tono Mansion already has a rather bad reputation, but when you start keeping that around, what sort of rumors will that be? Shiki-san, if you stand there, you'll catch a cold. The Kawaku-san's call, I returned to myself. Yeah, okay. I'm coming. Turning quickly, I headed indoors. Woo! At my back, Coulter-kun raised a lovely howl at the moon. Did you have fun? Oh, yes. Thank you so much. That's good. And Kawaku-san, of all the things you got, which one makes you the happiest? Memories of playing together with everyone. Aww. That was really good. That might actually be my favorite one. It didn't go, like, wild. It had humor. It had every character acting entirely on point. It had twists. And just as a concept, it was fun. It was a fun concept. I'm pretty sure that this gets referenced in the Prisma Ilia Prisma Carnival OVA there, where they all play tag with each other. Or it was some game like that, right? Was it Capture the Flag? It might be. But yeah, I love that. Production notes. There are about 200 of these messages. There are also hidden characters. So try many times. And on certain days... Oh, frick. Certain days of special messages. Of course there is. Okay. Let's see if we got anything new in the fun menu. I'm scared. Access D. You again? Well, you're certainly busy. Time to use something. A few things that might be appropriate. Let's see here. What do we have? What is food for thought? Seafood soup.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly culinary corner, Double Entendre. Our latest installment seems to have been quite popular, and we received a lot of replies to it. So let's just have a rerun of the highlights first, shall we? Roll tape.
That's porn. Gotta cover that up. Okay, well that was just porn. What?
Now, while basically approving, the same persons making up the hive mind of 4chan's Anonymous have sent in their own recipes. Since we're always grateful for improvements, we will dedicate this show to some of your delectable suggestions. First off,
Oh my god, that's literally a 4chan user.
who has but a few simple changes.
Okay, nope. Nope, stop. Okay, I can't show this. I thought, okay, nope. This is not happening. I mean, there's nothing on screen right now, but there's gonna be. Let's just get through this. Wait, what? No, that was it? Squeeze her buttocks shaped like clams. Akia's chest look like a coral reef.
Well, interesting. Do you remember that technical term for the liner's cliffside? 2652685 has a little more to add.
Don't show pictures.
Her muscles tantalize me. The thought of boiling them with my hot sperm make me hungry for words. Well done. Though you might want to work on the spelling a bit.
I was gonna say. Next up is 2652720. He took the whole thing in an exciting new direction. This is so stupid.
Ah, I say, the thoughts I couldn't come out.
Seal's currylicious breasts glazed with the cheese. Oh my god. This is so horrible. Shotter tie. This is so stupid.
Sounds tasty. It was probably quite challenging for a beginner. Now on to the next one. With the help of a dictionary, he adds spice to a new tried-and-true formula.
When I pulled out, smelled the gaping mouth of... Stop! This is so gross!
More of an hors d'oeuvre than a full meal, but should go well with anything. But if it's a main dish you want, 2652767 delivers like Pizza Hut.
Shut up! Like a great big octopus listen to her reef. The mollusk arms slowly pry myself the hapless creature. This is so funny because this honestly is better than Nasu's writing. Our silhouettes, wow, doing it like they do on the Discovery Channel. That's strong.
Now that is something you don't see often. Save for a special occasion. Next, 2652823 goes for the more popular taste.
Our quiz reminds me that sea urchins. Oh god, shut up. What the frick?
Since she happened to be nearby, we decided to get an expert's opinion on that one.
Don't spell my name wrong, punk. Was it? Arukred. You know, it's good for you.
Ever the Joker. But let's not dwell on that too much for press for time as it is. 2652892 goes all out. This one will feed a family for a week.
Oh god, I'm scared. Okay, contractions like wave rock. Okay, Caribbean diver. Bed of oysters and pearls therein, our tongues intertwined like box jellyfish, which would be hazardous to anyone nearby, but fortunately such creatures are resilient to each other's poisons. We didn't die, but rather our passion increased tenfold. Like a thresher. Okay, but I love... Oh, tube worm. We're going into tube worms. Okay, oh, we got some cuttlefish. You know, I appreciate... As someone who loves sea creatures, I appreciate this, actually.
Simply delicous. I get hungry just thinking about it, but no time to linger. There's still much more to come, if you know what I mean. 2652920 sure does.
Slowly she eats me. The mouth of the urchins. Oh, frick. Stop. Creature likes it. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, that was just ended too quickly.
Beautiful. Almost haiku-like in its brevity, and yet it contains all the important food groups. But if you're looking for a more down-to-earth taste, this is so stupid. Senpai's delicate lips wrap around like a starfish. Oh, that's horrible. Lost inside a tsunami, bringing up ancient creatures from the darker depths of the ocean. Mucus-covered eel lashed out.
Don't call it that. Attack my petrified sea sponge. Please see a doctor. To finally all the pressurized water inside a bag for filtering. As I, oh my god, saying like a screeching dolphin. I'm a shark. I'm a shark. Suck my dick. Oh my god, that's an old meme. That is a ancient meme. That is an ancient meme. That is like so old. The feeling sounds like it takes some getting used to, but then again, seafood is acquired taste to begin with. Steep, colorful coral. Words echo through my head. This reef, known as Akia's Barrier, is known for its flat, almost plateau-like coral structure. Right now, a large dark shape penetrates the surface of this wonderful natural habitat and feeds on mollusks and clams. Oh my god. It isn't, as one might suggest, an orca, but rather a very large sperm whale. Fun fact, they're called the sperm whale for the spermophili gland, which is a part of their head that can fire lasers underwater. That's not a joke. This is the second time the cliffside coral reef problem came up. We decided to get another expert opinion. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, not everyone can... Yeah, we get it. We don't have the time to discuss this in depth, but do stick around for the next one, too. 2653248 seems to try a different, which is to say, less steep angle. That's a good first word. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, my passion red while I dove deeper into this. Oh, that's gross. Now, what do you think of that? What? Sorry, I seem to have been lost for a moment there. Oysters are known to do that to you. Thanks for coming. The pleasure was all mine. Goodbye. But on to the next one. Oh my god, how many are there? 2653273 prepares a dish that seems simply out of this world. Senpai's delicate lips wrapped around my swollen member like a star. Okay, we're going with that again. Okay, wait, that... Okay, that was about the same, but as I descended further in madness, strange vision of abnormal, non-Euclidean city clouded my thoughts. As I explored the city, I came across a cavern which seemed to, yes, stretch in the bowels of the earth. As I cast my eyes into this cavern, a being beyond all description stood, casting his gaze back at me. It was then that I awoke, knowing that the stars were right, and soon the horror would walk the earth. Unbelievable. Simply stunning. So good, in fact, that we spent the rest of our measly budget on yet another expert opinion. Hello, everyone. First off, let me say that I've always been a big fan of your show, and it's a real pleasure to be here. Yeah, well, to get to the point, as an expert on both the occult and the culinary, do you think this is even fit for human consumption? I think it should not be attempted lightly, but then again, the payoff might be worth it. However, I do think it would be well with some more Don't even start. Why, everything can use more culture. What do you think I am, some one-dimensional gimmick character? I'll just get on with the show, shall we? For the dessert, 2653274 takes us back full circle. Can't show that. That's off screen. Okay. Can't show that. I heard dolphin clicks were in there. Now that wraps up today's show. Wasn't it great? Why, I don't think I could do any better even if I tried my very best. Nay, son. Why do these jokes always have to be on our expense in the end? Don't worry about it too much. I think there's someone out there who's taking a special interest in us. Damn right, girl, there is. Anyway, that's it for today's Double Entendre. I hope you learned a few valuable lessons from it. Look forward for the next show. We'll tell you how to swing this way and that properly. Until then, good night and pleasant dreams. What was that song? What is this song? It's funky fresh. Let's go to the jukebox. Okay. We got a couple songs here. Moonlight. Yeah. What was that song that just played though? It was sick. Might be in the next page. No. 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 Might not even be there. Oh. That's new. I think this is the one, right? Nope. Terrifying every time. But sound effects. These are good to have. That's cool. That's cool that it's a thing. Nice. Back. Oh, it just keeps playing? Whoa! Whoa, we got more! And I see scene select. Nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Bye, hope you had fun. See you some other time. And all it took was watching some bad porn. Alright guys, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time for some more. This was fun in multiple ways. See you then. Ciao.